Some players who played on the weekend obviously had different feelings, won't they? So it's our job to make them feel part of the squad. Coming to camp 8 days before the Barbarians game, so it's a long preparation. Semi-finalists come in between Sunday and today. We've got 𝗕𝗿𝗃𝗲𝗃 coming in today, and it's a good preparation for the Baa-Baas game. It's one of the most diverse squads I've seen for an England 15. Yeah, we've got guys who have played 90 odd caps down to players who haven't even started for their clubs. So it's a great mixture of exciting young talent, good experienced players, and so the time we have together is vitally important. Firstly, to find a style on the field, and then to find some togetherness off the field. At the start of any campaign, we'd normally do a 𝗕𝗿𝘀𝗶𝗍𝗲, which we did last week, in the last camp. So this week we had It's a Knockout, which was a fun type obstacle event where we've got the team into 2 different teams where they compete against each other.
He's seeing you there, are you?
So we took part in a few different challenges, charging around on some inflatable bits inside a washing machine, which was quite entertaining, looking for socks. So you go in and find your pair, and then once you found it, you came sort of shooting out of the washing machine. We came up with the tactic of trying to scoop them all into one corner, but ended up not being able to see anything with bubbles all over our face, so it was a good laugh.
30 seconds. Come on, Dingo! Come on!
Go! I couldn't be happier to be back in the mix here. It's obviously my dream to play for England and be in this environment. So I think for me as well, looking back on my first couple of camps was during COVID, so there was a lot more restrictions. We weren't allowed to socialise as much, so I've absolutely loved the last couple of mini camps and the week so far, being able to get around the lads a lot more, and it's just been nice to take it in and get to know the lads around me a bit better. I've been through the ringer a little bit with the injuries, going back to my most recent one, doing my knee in February 2021. Was so excited to have the opportunity to play for England and be in the mix, and then to have it stripped away from me was pretty tough to take. I never lost that burn and fire inside me that wants to get back here really, and I think that probably was a big motivation to get me through my rehab. There was really points where I didn't know whether I was coming back or not. I think you do have some highs and lows, and definitely found it tough. Over the course of the year, I lent on my friends and family and the physio team at 𝗏𝗏 to help me and got me through. And I think now more than ever, it's given me a hunger to put that shirt on again at some point and to be in this group, because I think you realise you're not going to have many shots at this, many shots at your career. You've only got 10 years, maybe a few more if you're lucky, and you've got to maximise it. So for me, it's about enjoying every single second I'm here and just giving my all, because to have one more opportunity for England is massive for me, and I want to take it. The last few weeks we've been flying the flag, which is a bit of a fitness drill at the end of the session.
You run to the 22, down, up, back, down, up, do that twice. But the end of a session in 30-degree heat, it's not the easiest. The backs did the first rep and the last rep, and then did a bit of kicking and catching in between. And then they had to chase us down on the last rep, which obviously was really fun. But yeah, they came in and they sprinted while I was trying to pick my feet up. That's all about all I could do at that point. But yeah, it was a good fun, let's say.
The first rep, they made us feel bad about ourselves because they're all really quick and they beat us all. And the last rep, they made us feel worse about ourselves because we were all knackered and they were still really quick and beat us all. Last rep, you got 𝗵𝗲𝗃𝗲𝗃 and Jack Nowell. sprinting past me. It was fairly demotivating, but at the same time, I suppose it worked for the drill. I don't know what to say there.
But what we want from that session is a bit hard graft, making sure you're looking after your mate.
I think we got absolutely everything we could out of that session, so well done, lads.
Union Coffee set up a latte art competition. I don't think I'm going to be able to talk about this because I'm still quite bitter, so I don't think we'll be able to get a subjective. It's still fairly raw, but I'll try and talk about it. They brought in some nice machines, and 6 of us competed against one another to ultimately find the best latte art champion. It was a fairly low standard.
Johnny knocked.
No, I haven't. No, not when he was pouring. What are you doing?
Oh no.
That's fine, that's all right.
Get it in the middle. It's abstract.
There were some fairly nervous contenders, I think. There were some fairly shaky cups and shaky milk jugs.
So shaky. Oh, I like that.
𝗟𝗲𝘃𝗶𝗃𝗲 was technically very good. Johnny May, I think he'd admit he let himself down.
Right, we're going to reveal. So,
Are you happy with that?
No, I'm not.
I was happy enough with mine, but unfortunately didn't make it through to the final round. It was judged interestingly. I don't think I've experienced enough to know whether or not on another day, maybe, with another judge, maybe, the result would have been different.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
How Curry made it to the final, I'm not really sure. So I think if there was stiffer competition here, I absolutely would not be stood here now. But here we are. It's honestly been class. Training, like DC said, not perfect, it's never going to be. Look forward to show you what I mean for the weekend.
we want to play with energy and a lot of cohesion. You know, if we can do that on Sunday, and then that becomes a base for us to add in the finalist play, it'll be a successful week for us.
Well, you've got about 2 minutes of your own time.
Let's go, boys. First 20 isn't everything goes perfect. It's intent mixed with discipline. That is what's going to keep us on top. That's what's going to drive us, eh?
It's been a week full of fun, but lined with a sharp focus on the result today for both groups. Marcus Smith gets us underway. Marcus Smith, ball in 2 hands, shot and go, beautiful! Lovely sleight of hands, here's Freeman! Freeman! This time 𝗂𝗏𝘅𝗃𝗃, and he's over! Joel 𝗂𝗏𝘅𝗃𝗃! A try made across the road by Marcus Smith, finished by the Bath man. Started, Callum Chick takes the tap and go. Cloutin drags him to ground, intercept. 𝗟𝗏𝘃𝗶𝗃𝗲, the French captain is away. Harry Randall bearing down after him. Can Randall get to him? 𝗟𝗏𝘃𝗃 looks on his inside. 𝗟𝗏𝘃𝗃 all the way.
This is the one. Let's go. Come on.
Atkinson, is there on here? Floated over the top to Smith. May with a run in. May scores. Johnny May. Kerr again with the dart. Hill. Smith. Smith is in. Not fussed about making his conversion easier. Smith dives in for the 5-pointer. Clip over the top into the in-goal area. 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗲 scores. Wonderful invention. 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗲 provided the ingredients. So the Barbarians have done it. An unbelievable afternoon at Twickenham. Smiles aplenty. They've racked up 50 points at England Rugby's headquarters.
It's a bit of a numbing experience, isn't it? So now we finalise the squad tonight, guys. So those guys who aren't going to Australia, again in advance, we thank you for your effort. For those guys who are going to Australia, remember what happened today, guys.